Hey guys, it's Amy. Welcome to Everyone Can Do Math. Today we're going to be talking about absolute value. It's going to be a really short video, really to the point. I'm going to tell you what you need to know, and if you need more practice, I'll link another video where I'm doing practice problems. But before we get started, please, as always, if you could like this video, subscribe to it. I would love to keep making these free tutoring videos for you, and that would definitely help me be able to do that. Alright guys, so let's get started. Okay, so I wanted to hit up this absolute value concept because it's important. It's going to be important when we start talking about different geometry things. It's introduced earlier than geometry, but it's a good review if you're doing geometry now or if you're just in the point of your math journey where you're learning absolute value. So absolute value looks like this. This is the symbol for absolute value. So you see those two bars right there. So normally something would be inside of it. So just put an X. Okay. So if you see this, you should automatically know a few things. So the first thing you should automatically know is anything coming out of this absolute value is going to be positive. Nothing negative can ever come outside of an absolute value. Okay? So even if everything inside of it is negative, those bars right there just automatically turn it positive. Okay? So they're always positive. So what that means is, and I'm again going to use X, but we'll do some other examples with it. That means this X is equal to X. Well, that also means that this X, negative X, is equal to X as well. You see that? The X is equal to the negative X. Why? Because it can't possibly be negative. So equal X, okay? Now let's go ahead and put some numbers in there. So what if I saw this? And I want to know what this negative 4 inside of the absolute value is equal to. Well, it can't be negative like I said, so it's going to be 4. Just imagine, I just thought of this. Just imagine this little bar over here, like sliding over and being like, pew. I don't know, maybe that's a bad way to think of it, but the answer would be 4. Now imagine the 4 also in the absolute value. Well, guess what? It's already positive, so that's equal to 4. Okay, now we're going to practice a few more numbers just to make sure you get the concept of it. Alright, so here we have 3 minus 6. Now, in our absolute value, we're going to work the problem normally. So everything inside those bars, we're going to continue to do the same way we normally would. We only are going to say that things have to be positive after you're all done working out the problem. So I'll show you what that means. So we have the bar, we have 3 minus 6. So we know that the 3 minus 6 is going to give us negative 3. So we're still having those bars, but now we reduce that down to negative 3. Well, now we only have one number left in here. So this is when we're going to say, okay, if I want to bring this 3 out of these absolute value, out of this absolute value symbol, I'm going to have to make it positive. So what is that going to equal? 3. But you see how we didn't, the 3 was already positive, but you see how we didn't say, oh, there's a minus 6 in here, we need to make that positive. No, we're not doing that. We're going to just work the problem as normal, and then at the end, we're going to make it positive. Okay, so here's another example right here. Negative 6 minus 5. So remember what I just said. We're not going to change the numbers at all until we only have one number left and we're trying to bring it outside of the absolute value. Okay, so negative 6 minus 5 is going to be equal to negative 11. Now we have that one number, so now we can say that's equal to 11. And notice again, we have a negative 6. We did not make that 6 positive because there was more than one number inside of that absolute value thing. So we only are doing that when we had the negative 11 because we couldn't do anything else. We could not reduce that negative 11 any further. Alright, and so the last example I'm going to show you is 4 minus 2. It's going to give us 2. Once we pull that 2 out, it's already positive, so we've got 2. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of what the absolute value does, what it means. The 2 important takeaways that you want to remember is number 1, anything that comes outside of the absolute value has to be positive. And number 2, we're not going to make things positive until we've reduced them down to one number or as far as we can. Okay? Well, that's all for this video. Like I said, if you're still a little shaky, if you just want more practice, or if you're just new to this and you're just learning, I would highly recommend you go ahead and check out the next video that I'm going to post, and it's going to just have some problems so you can work it. You can work out, more absolute value problems and see what that looks like on paper. Alright guys, well that's all for this time. Please, like I mentioned before, if you could subscribe, I would love to keep making these videos for you, and that helps me to do that. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and if you have any other topics that you would like me to cover, please let me know those as well. Thanks, bye guys.